Well, welcome back. I'm glad you came back. We've gone through the first three chapters of Matthew, so now we're going to start at Matthew chapter 4. I'm reading from the New International Version. This is about the testing of Jesus in the wilderness. When Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil, after fasting 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. The tempter came to him and said, "If you are the Son of God, then tell these stones to become bread." And Jesus answered, "It's written, man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." Then the devil took him to the holy city and had him stand on the highest point of the temple. "If you are the Son of God," he said, "throw yourself down. For it is written, he will command his angels concerning you, and they will lift you up on their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone." Jesus answered him, "It's also written, do not put the Lord your God to the test." Again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their splendor. "And all this I will give you," he said, "if you will bow down and worship me." Jesus said to him, "Away from me, Satan, for it is written, worship the Lord your God and serve him only." Then the devil left him, and angels came and attended him. What an interesting passage of Scripture. Jesus beginning his public ministry, first by being baptized, and the baptism was proof to the whole world that Jesus was the chosen one, the Messiah, the promised one that was to come. And just as Israel was tested 40 years in the wilderness to see if they would obey God, according to Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 2, Jesus was tempted 40 days and nights in the wilderness as well. There are people who do actual fasts of 40 days and 40 nights all around the world. Christians do it, some Jews do it, Islam, Hindu, Buddhist. I know fasting is a common thing in a lot of religions, and there's a lot of reasons for fasting. But one of the primary reasons for fasting for Christians is so that we can discipline our body and the lust of our body, the desires of our body, so that we can learn how to submit these things to God and be even more obedient. I think one of the things a lot of people don't realize is how these temptations for Jesus were real temptations. A lot of times we kind of get the Hollywood version of Jesus, and he always looks so perfect and never really struggles. But listen to this struggle here. This is out of Hebrews chapter 5, and it's in verse 7. It said, "During the days of Jesus' life on earth, he offered up prayers and petitions with fervent cries and tears to the one who could save him from death. And he was heard because of his reverent submission. Son though he was, he learned obedience from what he suffered. And once made perfect, he became the source of eternal salvation for all who obey him." And we're told also in Hebrews chapter 2 that Jesus was tempted in every way as we were, yet without sin. I want you to think about that for a minute. This was a real risk that Jesus was taking. He could actually fail. He was as human as you and I. And he suffered anguish and hardship and fervent cries and tears and anguish through this. I want to say more about this in the next video. So I'm going to kind of cut this one short so I can pick up in the next one and talk a little bit more about that. Thanks.